So I'd say I'm not sure how to start this, but this is the second or third time today we've tried to start this podcast. It's cursed already.
It is, yeah. It's a good start. Karl got like a phone call just to interrupt the immediate beginning of this podcast. But Welcome to the official beginning of the Wiki Weekdays podcast.
Yes, and this is something people may be familiar with in one way, shape, or form because it existed on the Fact Fiend channel for a while, and it was inspired by just a tangent, I believe, in an episode of the Karl's Corner podcast, which we were both on previously. I'm Karl as well. We should introduce ourselves. I'm Karl Smallwood. Who are you, Lucas?
Hi, Karl. I'm Lucas Holland, because apparently we're introducing ourselves like James Bond or something.
Well, we forgot to do that, didn't we? That's the thing. We need to establish who we are and what we do. And
yeah, this is a new channel. We can't expect people to have been knowing who we are from the get-go.
Exactly. And Americans listening might think we sound like the same person despite us having different accents. That is a worry.
Like, really?
Have you never heard? Americans just can't tell the difference. When I go speak to my girlfriend's friends who are all American, they're like, "Oh, he sounds so posh." I'm like, "What the fuck I do?"
Just like the Yorkshire coming through, nah.
Just like I'm rocking up like Sean fucking Bean, and like, "Oh, he sounds so posh." But yeah, the Wiki Weekdays podcast, inspired by the Wiki Weekends videos on the Fact Fiend channel, and now finding their own home on the dedicated Wiki Weekends and Weekdays channel on YouTube, which you can find linked below. But
just Wiki Weekends, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We're not even decided what we're going to call it yet. That's still...
We're recording a month before the channel actually goes live. So we have a bit of a buffer with some content.
But do you want to just explain why we specifically read wiki entries and think that makes good content? Because to an outside observer, just reading out a wiki entry on Wikipedia or a fan wiki might not sound all that interesting, but I contend some of our funniest and most off-the-cuff, balls-to-the-wall insane moments have emerged from wiki discussions.
Yeah, they have. And normally it's because, we pick topics that we actually give a crap about.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that this works and the way that, the reason that I think that this has succeeded in the past is because it's a conversation around the topic that we use, the Wikipedia article or the fan wiki article to jump off. And it's basically, it gives us a factual article that we can then use to have a more in-depth discussion and go on silly tangents and just... It basically means that we've got a fact sheet in front of us about said topic so that we don't get everything wrong.
There's also, as well, just something innately humorous about the matter-of-fact way a lot of entries on wikis are written. And, something we're no doubt going to be able to showcase when we cover today's two wikis. And, Lucas, I want you to go first because I don't want to be the first person to go.
Okay.
So what's the wiki entry you've picked for today?
Yeah, so to clarify for anyone wondering the way that this podcast is going to work is both Karl and I will pick a Wikipedia or as a fan wiki, just a wiki entry on a subject that we find interesting, but we're not going to let the other person know until the moment we're recording.
Yeah.
And same will happen if we have guests on the show. They will pick something, bring it to us. And the entire premise will be just we get to surprise each other on the day.
Yes, and if you like what we do, let us know which wiki you think won this week. Which wiki won this week? Just because I wanted to say that alliteration.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
that's good. In the comments. Which wiki won this week? We can have a little
battle in the comments of who had the better wiki.
Would you believe I came up with that off the cuff and I wasn't thinking about it while talking to my brother of which wiki won this week? That's some pretty good off the cuff alliteration, I think. What have you brought for us this week, Monfrere?
So I have brought.
You're already giggling. This is going to be great.
So me and you, we're both Dragon Ball fans, Karl.
Of course we are. Yeah. Love me some Dragon Ball.
I wanted today to dive into the world of the non-canon Super Dragon Ball Heroes online show.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
I've seen how balls to the wall. I just saw a screenshot of golden cooler
Yeah.
Like fighting Super Saiyan 9 Gogeta or something. The fuck is this?
So I've not watched the whole thing, but I'm aware that it's like I think it's like a nearly like 50-part. We can find out as we go through. Number of episodes, 44 episodes.
Okay.
And it's like a non-televised anime web series for the Dragon Ball Heroes video game that began on July 1st, 2018.
Okay.
So it's not canon. It's to do with like the Xenoverse games and the Dragon Ball Heroes game, and it's basically just a way to peddle a bunch of fan service and merch out.
So Dragon Ball.
Yes, but like
no, actually, no. Sorry.
We'll
so
see
anime.
going through anime in general, but you'll see like how hyper focused it is. It's like, let's just bring every single thing that somebody has asked for into a 44 episode long anime. Just cram it all in.
It's just the shut the fuck up, you stupid nerd. It's like what Keanu Reeves should have said at that one conference. Have you ever seen that? Of like, the timeline would have been so much better if when Keanu Reeves someone said, "You're breathtaking," and he just said, "Shut up, you fat fucking nerd, and don't interrupt me." The world would have been so much better if just people said, "Shut up, you fucking nerd. You don't know what you want." Oh, but where would people find this wiki entry, Lucas, if they wanted to find it? Like, besides going down to the description and clicking on the link.
Yeah, this is on dragonball.fandom.com.
Okay.
So you can find it over on that website, hidden behind like 5 unplayable, unskippable adverts that take over half your screen and stuff.
It's like reading fan wikis just makes you appreciate the fact that Jimmy Wales, as like the owner of Wikipedia, the owner and founder, is like, fuck ads. Like, he fucking hates ads.
Fandom. Just like, I respect that you're trying to earn some money, but like, at least let me see the article that I've clicked on.
Like, how often do you click on a website on the internet and feel like that moment in Ready Player One where it's just, we can get this many ads on screen before the person has a seizure? Like, when you go onto like a news article and it's just on your phone.
Oh God. And then the paywall comes up and it's like, no.
It's like, journalism dies in darkness. I can't fucking see it anyway. So you give my phone the digital equivalent of an STD just to find out what like this Real Housewives style looks like today.
So it has a picture of like the reveal.
Okay.
And the reveal is like just at the very top, it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku punching Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Of course. So for fans who are like, well, Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. It's like
straight away it knows exactly what the fans want. And it's like, then underneath it is Cooler.
And then it's like Cooler?
No, just transformed like second form regular Cooler.
Yeah.
Not even metal Cooler. Then underneath that is like future Trunks and Mai and Vegeta are all like shouting. And then there's a character that is, a brand new OC, which is everyone's favourite things.
Yeah, the OC's in anime.
There's quite a few OCs in this one, though.
I think I see one where it's just a guy who looks exactly like Broly, but he's not Broly. He's like legally distinct Broly. He looks like, we've got Broly at home. And he's like...
I don't know whether you're talking about the same person, but like there's...
the guy with the mask.
The guy with the mask. See, to me, he looks like Buff Raditz.
He's a combination of both, I feel. Like, He's like that idea of the Raging Saiyan.
Mm-hmm. So he's the enemy in the Prison Planet saga, and this is broken down into a few different series. And I'm just gonna list like all of the different names of like the sagas and stuff here.
Okay, let's see.
So it's the first part of the series is Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission, which is comprised of the Prison Planet saga and the Universal Conflict saga.
Are these episodes 5 minutes long?
There's something like 5 minutes long, yeah.
And they've got the Universal Saga covered in 5 minutes. Like, how small is this universe? It's like Star Wars. I've never seen a universe that feels so small, despite ostensibly being so large.
The Universal Conflict Saga was episodes 7 to 19.
So it took them, what?
13 episodes to cover an entire Universal Conflict.
Yeah, so that's what, like 20 minutes of screaming. This is the same series where it takes people 20 episodes to finish screaming. This is the same series where, when Frieza says, this planet will blow up in 5 minutes. It took 3 hours of in-anime time for it to blow up. And now they're covering an entire saga in 5 minutes. Like, Dragon Ball's gone all the way around.
And yeah, just wait though, Carl, because episode 20 is the Dark King Mechikabura saga. Just episode 20 is the entire Dark King
saga is
Mechikabura saga.
I'll be honest, Mechikabura sounds like a fucking jobber. If he's not lasting one if you're not lasting one episode of an anime.
Oh dear.
That's not
a 5-minute anime. And then after that, we've got Super Dragon Ball Heroes The Big Bang Mission, which is comprised of the Universe Creation Saga and the New Space-Time War Saga.
Don't you just miss when it was just Goku fighting Yamcha?
Yeah.
Just it's a kid fighting a bandit. Do you think like Toriyama ever thought when he's just drawing Goku throwing a kick at Tien and like he puts like the 4 arms on Tien and he's got like the 3 eyes? Someone's like, that's unrealistic. Do you think he just looked into the future and just saw Super Saiyan 4 Goku fused with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta?
Oh dear. And
fighting like Ultra Instinct fucking Kui. Let's go.
To end this, we've got the Ultra God mission that is comprised of the Supreme Kai of Time saga.
I need to know, how do you become an Ultra God? Like Dragon Ball, like there is always a level above whatever you think is the max level. Like we always, like as kids, we thought Super Saiyan was the limit, and then Super Saiyan 2 was a thing. But then they had like Ascended Super Saiyan.
Well, yeah, because that was the one that Trunks turns into, isn't it?
Have you ever like seen like the full list? If you have like,
oh no, it's not.
You have Pseudo Super Saiyan, you have Super Saiyan, you have Ascended Super Saiyan, you have Super Saiyan 2, you have like Advanced Super Saiyan, like the buff one that Trunks turns into, Super Saiyan 3.
Ascended Super Saiyan is where Goku and Gohan come out of the time chamber and they can stay in Super Saiyan form, isn't it? Yeah.
And then you have like Super Saiyan 4, then you have Super Saiyan God, then you have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, then you have Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Royal Blue. That's the Vegeta one. Then you have Ultra Instinct. We have Ultra Instinct Sign and Ultra Instinct. And it's like, but now you've got the new. Have you seen the new one?
Oh no, I haven't. So don't give that one away.
Okay, but, there's a new form beyond even becoming a god. And
then there's also don't forget Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken. You forgot about that one.
Where you times the power. For some reason,
like,
you can just...
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, fuck it, times it by 20.
Why not? Fuck you.
Like, I love the idea that Kaioken works on any form.
And it's so baffling that they never taught it to everybody. But I need to know more about Dragon Ball.
Vegeta wants his own power. But fuck off.
Like Dragon Ball superheroes. Like, tell me more. Read me some entries from this week. I want some choice quotes from this wiki, Lucas.
Well, there's not really choice quotes, but I'm going to do we're going to just briefly run over the story overview, because this is like 4 paragraphs for the entire story. So bear in mind, everyone, this is just made to, get people to buy shit. Everything is.
It's to get nerds' dicks hard.
But it's just fan service 101. But yeah, so this takes place after the Tournament of Power. And Goku, Vegeta, and Future Mai are informed by a mysterious figure named Fu that Future Trunks is being held captive on a world called Prison Planet.
How the fuck did someone capture Future Trunks? How the fuck? He has got, the thing is, Future Trunks, why does, all of Dragon Ball never stop stomping that guy's balls? Has he not suffered enough?
Well, I believe in this, or in, Dragon Ball Xenoverse or something, in this story, where, Trunks gets in trouble for manipulating time and becomes a time cop.
Do you know what should happen? They should apologise and let him manipulate it more. So they should look at his timeline, which gets, obliterated 9 times, and be like, no wonder he's trying to manipulate time. Time fucks him over every other day.
He literally got back, defeated the androids, and then, all of a sudden, evil Goku's just tearing his universe apart. It's like, what's happening?
And then they deleted that entire universe and started again. It's like, fucking hell, he's the man without a timeline.
But he's the man on Prison Planet. And of course, Prison Planet is under control of Frieza's brother, Cooler.
Who's just there.
Of course it is.
He's just there.
And while there, they are confronted by the Saiyan criminal, Kumba. So that's the big the big Raditz Broly dude.
Radish.
And he's just like, oh, we needed a buff evil Saiyan because of course we did.
But they not brought Raditz back and said he's been training. He is a Saiyan. So I always find it weird they never brought Raditz back. He's Goku's brother, and they never really explore that familial connection.
It's bizarre because it's just, oh hey, we've introduced in one episode that Goku is an alien and actually has a brother.
And then they kill him.
And then 2 episodes later he's dead for all eternity. It's like, you wasted the main character's brother in 2 episodes.
It's one that has the most interesting story ramifications. Or Goku's the strongest being in the universe. What does that mean for his brother? Surely if you're the brother of the strongest being in the universe, some of that power juice must have worn off. They brought his dad back. They bring Bardock back. Bardock got his own fucking movie.
Raditz was more powerful than Goku. People who had to, obviously sacrifice Goku to end up getting his way and stealing Goku's son.
Yeah, that's the thing. Bardock got his own movie. Where's the Raditz movie?
The Raditz movie where he realized he was he realized he was Super Saiyan 3 the entire time.
Yeah, but it's just so bizarre, isn't it? They never brought Raditz back, and to the point where they're just inventing new characters who look exactly like him but buff.
And then they also have everybody else come back from hell and shit, and just Raditz is just one character that never gets mentioned.
I think there's an episode of GT where Nappa comes back for 5 minutes, and Vegeta just says, "I'm gonna kill you again because you suck ass." So he even acknowledges how shit he is and kills him again. And then Raditz, he's like Yamcha. He's like the evil version of Yamcha, where just no one gives a fuck. Anyway, this story. So they meet Cooler on the prison planet with future cop Trunks.
Turns out that was all conducted by the mastermind of Hearts. And Hearts, who has recruited a cyborg version of Zamasu, reveals his plan to eliminate Zeno and his counterpart just before destroying Prison Planet.
That's the thing.
So he wants to annihilate the ruler of all multiverse twice.
And he's a robot, which means he can be turned off.
No, he brought back a robot version of Zamasu. But Hearts is the one really in control.
Yeah. I always found that baffling in Dragon Ball, that you can make a robot that's stronger than you. Dr. Gero makes robots that are stronger than he is and they kill him. Why did he make himself the weakest android? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the most baffling part, is it's not even that he made androids and he was a human that got killed by them. He was an android as well at that point.
And he's the worst one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, then the surviving heroes make it back to Beerus, while Goku was rescued by the Grand Minister, of course, who decides to train him so that he can maintain Ultra Instinct. Hearts then plants a universal seed on Universe 11 to drain its energy as he sends across enemies to Universe 6 and 3.
What I need to know, though, is at what point does Goku just punch it and it stops working? Because the Dragon Ball universe is simultaneously so bafflingly dense, but also so incredibly simple, because the answer to most solutions is just shout or punch it.
Yes.
Remember, what is it, Super Boo? They trap him in the hyperbolic time chamber.
And he just screams.
And he's like, oh, he's trapped in there forever, he'll never get out. And he just yells real loud, and it actually works.
And it works second one as well. He comes up with that solution so quickly of just, oh, we've got you trapped in an alternate dimension forever. No, you don't. It's same with the payoff of Ultimate Gohan.
Oh, yeah.
All this build up, and they've got the perfect plan. He kicks his ass, and it's like, nope.
Absorbs his power.
Second one, just sorry, Gohan, you're irrelevant now.
Yeah, daddy's dad.
Speaking of fucking irrelevant,
oh man,
they're like, oh yeah, there's these OCs that become whatever Kami Orin, and then Cooler is now transformed into Meta Cooler because of course
not Golden Cooler
versions. I think he becomes Golden Cooler at some point.
Fuck yeah, Golden Cooler. Pimp Cooler.
But then it's oh yeah, of course, it's just oh yeah. Eventually, they're trying to fight Hearts and defeat these people. Goku then convinces him to fuse into Gogeta so they can get Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue in there. And this, they've just got to knock that one out.
Yeah. There's someone out there still stroking. They're not done yet. They're still stroking it. Those tiny little baby strokes.
After all that, in his final words, Hearts explains that his true intentions were only to free all mortals from the Omni King before congratulating Gogeta and the other fighters in defeating him. Elsewhere, a satisfied Fu declares that his next experiment is ready to begin. And of course that plan is to bring the prophesized bird of catastrophe. Explains his plan to create an entirely new universe using the university tree he planted with that universe seed across another multiverse. And it's like, what is going on?
It's this thing as well. Did they really need to go to all that effort to make the action figures fight?
Apparently.
That's a lot of weird backstory for the excuse of just banging action figures together for 5 minutes an episode.
So
why didn't they just say
unbelievably convoluted?
Just say Trunks turns up, the timelines are clashing. There's going to be a tournament to decide, which timeline deserves to live. Tournament of Power universe. Just do it timelines instead of universes. Instead, they invented this whole mythology that they're going to throw out the window just to make the action figures bang together.
And speaking of action figures to bang together...
Oh god, who comes in next?
For some reason, Fu recruits villains such as Turles, Bojack, Super Android 17, and Dr. W from alternate timelines. I presume that's Dr. Wily.
I don't know. Turles? You mean the guy with the tree?
From, the Tree of Power? Yeah? Turles, whatever his name is.
And Bojack?
And Bojack.
Okay.
Relevant characters, Karl.
That's the thing, though. Someone out there probably watched that episode and, like I said...
Lost their shit because Bojack or Super Android 17 was in it, yeah.
It's like with Pokemon, where every Pokemon is someone's favourite Pokemon. Every Dragon Ball character is someone's favourite Dragon Ball character. They will never be happy.
Mm-hmm. And it's just bizarre that, we're getting to the point where it's like, of course we needed Turles back. Of course somebody out there was like, give me Super Android 17 again.
Yeah.
So that I can go buy whatever, trading card version of him from Dragon Ball Superheroes is from, or Super Dragon Ball Heroes. And then it's it keeps going, and it's just elsewhere, Dr. W collects Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegeta's energy to give it to Janemba to make him stronger.
The Janemba rocks up as well, I suppose.
So Janemba's
up. There.
And of course, to overcome Janemba, Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegeta have to borrow energy from Xeno Trunks and Xeno Pan to achieve a new level of power.
They've got to move a new level of power.
Okay. It's just it's 20 years worth of the generic Dragon Ball trope of you've got to get the new power up, the new form.
But
all condensed into 45-minute episodes of just everything needs to happen.
It's like when you need to write a story, or an essay for tomorrow, and you just think, fuck it. You just you shotgun your Red Bull and you just write and you just write. And you don't care how many fucking every source you had, you just whack it on. You don't do any trimming, no editing, get it up to that word count, submit, done. And you get your thing back, done, perfect. So let's go to the pub. Fucking job done. God.
And then they've got
what a
Broly
nightmare that sounds like.
They've got they go to hell. Super Saiyan Broly, Frieza, Cooler, Dark Dragon Balls are back.
Here's the thing, though, right? In all this, you've still not mentioned Raditz. So even though this is the most, everyone's coming back. They're bringing back fucking Bojack and Turles. Raditz still
doesn't get a shout.
Which means
Goku's brother.
No one gives a fuck. Even in the show, that's everybody gets a little bit. Everybody gets their moment. They still don't give Raditz any play. That's impressive.
Just at the very end of this story overview, all I saw was Cell appears to save Goku and Vegeta, who question Cell's motives when he responds that he was brought back to the same reason. He was brought back the same reason Hearts was, who then claims he is also part of Margin's collaborators. And that's the end. That's all it says.
They're going to set it up for, Super Dragon Ball villains. This is going to be Cell in charge.
I don't know what this is, Scott.
Oh, God. Is it an image? Send me the image on Discord if it's an image. What the fuck?
What is this?
What the fuck is
Oh
this?
no!
This just reads like fan art.
It
It's
basically
basically
is.
fan fiction, yeah. Let me have a
This
look.
is essentially fan fiction, but this is a real thing, and can you guess what this is?
Oh yeah, no, that's from the new movie. It's orange piccolo.
it?
It's orange piccolo.
Oh my god, I thought that was part of Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
No, it's from the new movie. That's Orange
God.
Piccolo, where he turns
That
big.
looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
That
It's
looks
awful.
cursed.
Would you not believe as well? They call it Orange Piccolo, and that's the official canon name for it.
Yeah, because that's all I saw is like on the side. It was just like
Orange
oh yeah,
Piccolo.
cool, Orange Piccolo. I was like, what the fuck?
Did you not
this?
know about Orange
I
Piccolo?
didn't know about Orange Piccolo.
It's orange now.
Oh,
They do have a
dear.
great moment in that film though, where Krillin says, "Piccolo, do you remember like 20 years ago when you turned real big?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot I could do that," and just turns big again because he forgot he could turn big.
Oh,
I don't in Dragon Ball originally he turns like Giant King Piccolo.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just Krillin says, "Why did you never do that again?" He's like, "Oh fuck yeah, I can do that," and just turns big again.
Oh my god.
Turns back into big Orange Piccolo.
And okay, Orange Piccolo is apparently a real thing.
You need to see the other form that's revealed in that movie, mate. That's even better.
Yeah.
You thought that Dragon Ball Heroes had some bullshit fan fiction in. They literally made
need to watch the new
fan
movie.
theory into a real thing in the Dragon Ball like superhero
I'm excited to see that new movie because I heard like it got pretty good reviews and stuff.
It's again just bang the action figures together.
Yeah. But speaking of like, reviews, Karl.
Yes.
I also checked out this on Wikipedia.
Okay. So you can critical reception and stuff like that.
Yeah, but reception has one sentence. One sentence for the reception of Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
And all this bullshit we just talked about is going to be distilled into a single sentence.
A single sentence that just says, reception. According to comicbook.com, initial reactions to the series from Dragon Ball fans were mixed. That's it. That's it. It's just like...
We threw everything at a wall to try and make it stick, and the Dragon Ball fans are like, could have done with a bit more Orange Piccolo. But on that note, and speaking of Wikipedia, would you like to cover my suggestion for this week?
Let's go for it. And I don't know whether you've gone the same route as me, as just like something done that we can riff on, or
well, I've gone in the complete opposite direction. I think this highlights the strength of this series of not knowing what the other one's doing, unless obviously the theme. And I've simply gone onto Wikipedia, and I have looked up and have in front of me the glossary of British terms not widely used in the United States.
Oh, okay.
And this is, we can go through it, and Wikipedia will help us here. This is a list of British words not widely used in the United States. In Canada, New Zealand, India, South Africa, and Australia, some of the British terms listed are used, although another usage is often preferred. So, some more clarification here. Words with specific British English meanings that have a different meaning in America and or additional meanings common to both languages, e.g. pants, are to be found at the list of words having different meanings in American British English, which we'll no doubt cover at a later date.
That's one that always confuses me, because I can never remember. Is pants underwear here, or is pants underwear in America?
Pants means trousers over in America. But that's an entirely different thing. We're not covering that today. We're covering specifically words that are not widely used in the United States that we might use. And I thought maybe we can go through a few of the letters and see if any of them surprise us, or maybe we can explain what they are to our American listeners who are like, what the fuck's that mean? It says
so are we going for like slang or just normal words?
Some of them are slang, and some of them are just words that are in common usage in the United Kingdom that are not popular or even known in America. And we have another little subheading here that says, asterisks denote words and meanings having appreciable, that is not occasional currency in American English, but are nonetheless notable for their relative greater frequency in British speech, writing, and vernacular. Okay. It says that British English spelling is consistently used throughout the article, except when explicitly referencing American terms.
Right, yeah.
And we have just letters, and there is every letter of the alphabet, Lucas, so... Would you like to just pick a smattering of letters, or would you rather just go like A through D, for example, and then maybe return to this at a later date?
Maybe we could do K and L. Karl and Lucas.
Karl and Lucas, okay. Because that's a lot, so I'm going to have to scroll all the way down. All the way down. There is a lot here. So I've got to K.
So this seems like a pretty exhaustive list then.
It's a pretty big list. Well, some letters obviously have more examples than others. And the first one we have here
of course.
is kex. What does the word kex mean to you, Lucas?
Kex would be like underwear.
Yeah, trousers and or underwear, and that is apparently not known in the United States. So how would you use kex in a sentence?
It's like, you've often heard like when when we were kids, like in a changing room, it'd be like, "Oh, get your kex on. I can't come in." Like,
people
let me know when you've got your kex on, so I can like come in the room or something.
Yeah, my favorite thing about
that's like parents talking to children. By the way, like, nothing insidious going on there.
But just the best thing about like slang like this is it just makes Americans listening think that our childhoods were Oliver Twist. The next one we have is kerfuffle. What does kerfuffle mean to you, Lucas?
I love the word.
Such a good
kerfuffle.
word, isn't it? Such a good mouth feel to the word. Kerfuffle.
So, kerfuffle is just like a situation where things got a little bit messy.
A little bit out of order. Yeah.
A little bit. It was a bit of a kerfuffle is just kind of like, oh, there was a bit of a problem, or there was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Yeah, like a disorderly outburst or disturbance. And apparently it comes from the Scots word carfuffle, which has no additional descriptor for it. Next one we have carsy.
Carfuffle.
The carsy.
Carsy?
Yeah. What do you do if you like? I know this one. Like even without knowing the description in front of me. So if I was going to say I'm going to nip to the carsy, what would that be? What if I said I'm going to nip to the carsy for a slash?
Is it toilet?
It's toilet. Yes, that's an informal British bit of slang for toilet.
So for whatever reason, slash is what gave it away. Is like to go for a wee.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're all sitting on this list. Next one, Lucas. Kip. I'm gonna go for a kip.
Oh, that's like having a nap.
Yeah, a nap. That's like a short.
I don't know if nap is a term used in America.
It is. Yeah, like nap time is like more often used in America.
Oh yes, yeah.
Next we have Kirby grip. What would a Kirby grip be to you, Lucas?
That sounds like some kind of tool.
And we should clarify as well some of these words, like even Lucas may not be familiar with, because like Britishisms are so isolated, and some of them are very like common to the region from which they hail. Like you being from Liverpool, I'm sure there's a lot of Liverpudlian slang and vernacular I would not be familiar with, despite us coming from the same, ostensibly the same region in the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt,
Northerners,
but there's still going to be a bunch of like Liverpudlian terms and bits of slang that I would not be familiar with, despite coming from the UK as well.
Yeah, so, for sure.
You might not know all of these.
Kirby grip, like the only thing I can think of Kirby-wise was we used to play like the game with the ball Kirby on the street, and like you'd like throw the ball at the curb.
It's not that, 'cause it's K, so it's Kirby as in like the video game character, not Curb.
Yeah, so that's why with grip that makes me think like a tool of some kind.
It is not. Well, I guess it could be. It's a hairpin or a hair grip. For Americans, that'd be a bobby pin.
Bobby
pin for Americans. Then we have kitchen roll. And that's surprising. That's not a term used in the United States.
It's just like kitchen tissue, isn't it?
Yeah, paper towels is the term most common in the United States. They don't use kitchen roll. That is surprising. I'm learning something here.
A roll of kitchen paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have an American girlfriend. Paper. And like one of the things I like to do is just make up words that sound kind of British and then slip in a few real ones and see which one she thinks is fake. Like there's a term that a friend of ours came up with, Bobby Waffles. I don't know what Bobby Waffles means, but he always jokes that our southern friends eat Bobby Waffles. So I joked about the idea of Bobby Waffles with my girlfriend, but then also snuck in the real term, Tiddlywinks.
Oh,
which is a game played by British children where you like try and bounce buttons into a glass.
Yeah, it's often seen like with people like bouncing coins into a little shot glass.
And that's like, there's many variations of it. But she was like, those things aren't real. And I said, well, one of them is, and which one do you think it is? Well, Bobby Waffles sounds most real. So no, it's Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks is the real one.
And I made up the joke one of like, well, actually, there's the adult version of Toddlywonks. And she was like, that was not real. But next one, knackered. Oh, fucking knackered, me. What would that mean?
Tired.
Tired, yeah. Exhausted, broken. So it can also be used in terms that's broken. So, something's knackered.
Yeah, if your car's knackered, then your car is like just written off, basically. Like
And in the same vein, we have the Knacker's Yard.
The Knacker's Yard.
The Knacker's Yard. This is a bit more like old school, but based on
maybe
the term, the word knackered meaning broken. What would you think a Knacker's Yard is?
Oh, it's related to knackered.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like kind of the like last legs kind of situation?
It's an informal term for like a scrapyard, or alternately where you send animals to be processed. So if you would say you're going to send like a horse to the Knacker's Yard, it's going there to be processed, to be turned into some glue, a Pritt stick.
I know that we do a lot of nasty things to animals, but using the word processed on animals is
what it says here.
Oh, that's
it makes it sound so clinical.
Like I'm gonna go process this horse. It's like, ooh.
It makes it sound so efficient, so clinical, so without any sort of emote, which I guess you have to do.
I know,
if you're feeding a horse into a meat grinder, you can't really give a shit.
But I'd rather somebody say I'm gonna put a horse in a meat grinder for some reason than say it's going to be processed.
Well, people don't like to use... Because if you use that sort of language, people aren't going to buy the product that's made from the animal.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, I think as well, this highlights both the creativity and limitations of British slang. So we've had knackered, knacker's yard, and now the term knackers. What does knackers mean, Lucas?
Isn't knackers underwear again?
No, it's slang for testicles. And those three words all mean completely different things. But we've got three wildly different things they can mean. And within one of those definitions...
around knacker.
Yeah, and then one of those definitions can also mean two completely different things. That's similar, but still very different.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, knickers. So we have...
Knickers is underwear.
It's underwear.
That's probably what I'm thinking in my head is like knickers, knackers.
Specifically girls' underwear.
Yes.
Like boys wear pants, girls wear knickers.
So when you think of like panties or lingerie or anything like that, like that's for women, that's knickers.
Yeah, so can you try and use all of those in a sentence? We've got kex, kerfuffle, carsy, kip, Kirby grip, kitchen roll, knackered, knacker's yard, knackers, and
I was struggling in my head when I thought you meant just the three knacker terms.
We could say so we got kex and knickers. So I wear kex, not knickers. Caused a bit of a kerfuffle when I went to the carsy.
And got my knackers out.
Got my knackers out. And then I had to douse them down with a bit of kitchen roll. And noticed that there was a Kirby grip on there when I was a bit knackered the night previous with the missus. And she said, that performance was awful. I should send you to get processed at the knacker's yard.
Oh, God.
Do you know what? This is awful. Then would you like to move on? Oh, God, there's a lot for L. There is a lot for L. And the first one is one that, to reference the Fact Fiend channel, we got a lot of complaints about, and that's the term ladybird.
Oh, because they were like, it's not a bird, it's a bug.
Yeah. So over in the UK and much of the rest of the world, it's ladybird because it comes from Our Lady's Bird, which is supposedly some term used to describe the insect. The amount of angry comments we got on that video of it's ladybug actually. It's like, well, we're British and we're talking about a story in Britain involving British people, and this is the term we use actually.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of when I titled the Colour Theory video, I used colour as COLOR because it's an American TV show. Produced in America. We make a joke about the fact we don't like the spelling in the video. So I was like, you know what, as a joke, I'm going to put it as the American spelling. And then got people in the comments you don't spell it that way. It's but the American TV show that we're talking about does spell it that way.
It's almost like even this Wikipedia article gets it right. Of they're using the British spellings because they're talking about British slang and vernacular. Almost like context masters. Anyway, the next one we have is laundrette.
Hang on. Go back. What is the official term for a ladybird?
A red and black flying insect, and it says here in the US, ladybug.
Okay, so it's not even as if Wikipedia has a correct thing that it's called. It's just the thing that is the red and black spotted insect. It's a ladybird in the UK, it's a ladybug in America.
Well, I clicked
and then obviously there's the correct Latin term.
Well, let's go on to Wikipedia. This is Wiki Weekdays. Let's go. So we have here the Latin name, if I can pronounce this, is the Coccinellidae. Coccinellidae. I'm not sure. It says here it's the Coccinellidae. Is a widespread family of small beetles ranging in size. It's commonly known as ladybugs in North America, ladybirds in Great Britain, and in other parts of the English-speaking world. So basically, Americans are the only one who call it ladybugs. Everywhere else that speaks English calls it a ladybird. It says they're also sometimes known as ladybirds, or ladybird beetles, or lady beetles. That's the term that entomologists, experts on bugs and
I don't mind
insects.
lady beetles.
So
why can't we? Can we all just agree to call them lady beetles from?
Well, that's we have here. So the term, so I think I'm now preferred. So the term preferred by North Americans is ladybugs. The term preferred by everywhere else on Earth is ladybirds, and the term preferred by experts on insects is lady beetle, which means that Americans are doubly fucking wrong. Anyway, so the next one is laundrette. Pretty obvious, and I'm surprised that Americans don't use that.
Oh, they say laundromat, don't they?
Yes, which supposedly, according to this, comes from an expired Westinghouse trademark. And then I'd like to notice a trend in British slang here. Lav. If I was going to say, I nipped at lav. For a slash.
That's just lavatory. Yeah.
Yep, just showing you that.
But weirdly enough, I was watching Mr. Bean the other day.
Okay.
And I was just like, the idea of like laundrettes is so weird.
Yeah, just go into this building and take your pants off.
And like I've been to laundrettes before, but yeah, just the idea that like you just kind of have to sit in a room with strangers staring at a washing machine.
That's the thing that surprised me.
It's
not the fact that it exists, obviously, it's a quite expensive household good. It's the fact that there's nothing to do.
Like there isn't newspapers there, or like, in like traditional British ones, it's just an empty box with like a machine that you can buy your washing powder in, and then a bunch of machines. Like that's all it is. It's like there's no way you can buy food or drink. There's no way you can get any kind of entertainment. Most of them don't even have like a TV in there.
Yeah. It seems like the kind of thing you should attach to like a gym.
Yeah,
you should attach it to somewhere like a gym. And I believe in America, and what they do is that a lot of them have like arcade machines in there, like pinball machines.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So obviously using quarters, so it's like a good way to your kids are coming with you, like give them a few quarters, go play the arcade machines. But moving swiftly on, we have here lead, electrical, or as on an appliance or musical instrument. Yeah,
this thing
electrical, and in America it's an electrical cord. And it's just these little things here.
But like to be fair, this is more like this is a wire, but obviously anything that's like, you're putting in your power outlet, that's a lead, an electrical lead.
And it's just one of those little terms that could catch someone out. Like, Americans listen, what do you mean by lead? Because how often do we have in videos or, podcasts like this one, we'll just mention offhand something like, oh yeah, I'd plugged in, my kettle lead.
It's like power cable, isn't it?
But the next one we have is legless. If I were to get legless, what would I be? If I was legless right now.
Rather drunk.
Yes. And I love that British people have so many euphemisms for drunk.
Well, we have talked about this previously on the Karl's Corner podcast, and it's a very, well-known thing. Is just kind of like, you can basically be British and use any term to mean drunk.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. I still, though, I'm a big fan of getting rat-arsed. Just rat-arsed is the classic one. Then we have lessons. If I were to, you take lessons at school.
Wait, lessons isn't a thing in America?
They use classes. So they use school classes, not school lessons. It's just these little things. We're learning a lot today, aren't we, folks? And then we move swiftly on to letterbox.
So it's like the slot in your door that you put letters through.
Yeah, what do Americans
we traditionally don't have mailboxes.
So they call it a mail slot. I prefer our way of saying it, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, and, in case Americans aren't aware, nowhere really in England in a traditional sense do people have mailboxes out of the house or anything like that. It's always just put the letter through the door, and then, any packages and parcels, someone will knock on your door.
Yeah, and then your neighbour comes around and steals it. Yeah.
Or someone will just leave it in front of your house for someone to just walk past and go.
I'll still never forget. This actually happened with the camera I'm using right now, the lead that's plugged into it. Yeah, see what I did there.
The power cable.
The power lead, yes, that's plugged into it. Like, I ordered it because my camera's a bit further back for recording. I was like, I need like a 3-meter long lead. I ordered one, and then Amazon's like, it's been delivered. And I was like, no, it's fucking not. Look outside. It's like, did someone nick like just this £2 like micro USB? And I looked and I opened up my mail slot and it was tucked all the way in because it had not gone all the way through the door.
Oh,
so it was just like trapped in there. But there was also like a bunch of other letters that I'd not received because apparently like the hinge on my letterbox is so stiff unless you put in like a magazine or something through there, it doesn't fit all the way. So it was like
everything just crumples in the crevice.
There was like a bunch of like scrunched up like circulars and stuff like that in there. I was like, oh fuck's sake. Oh, would you like the next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Lock-in. What
is that? As
lock-in?
In lock in?
Yep.
2 words. So that was when, like, you know, a pub is shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
If like you're there at the very end, a lot of more traditional pubs that aren't Wetherspoons and won't just kick you out, they will have a lock-in where the people that have already like ordered the last drinks and stuff will literally be like locked in the pub.
Yeah, we'll lock the door, finish your pints, and then leave out the back as we finish down. Yeah, you ever been to a lock-in?
I think once.
Yeah, I've been to a couple. Right, my ex-girlfriend of mine worked in a pub, so I'd always go in and see her at the end of a night out, and just she'd clean down, and they'd always have a lock-in for the regulars.
And yeah, it's just a way for people to finish their last drink while also being able to, you know, lock the door to anybody else coming into the pub because you don't want new customers.
Yeah, as seen in Shaun of the Dead. So everyone's doing like that Shaun of the Dead moment. It's like they just go, John, come on, and they just like, you know, they lock the door and they just have like pints like 4 in the morning. It's that.
Mm-hmm.
And next one, Lollipop Man.
Well, a lollipop person.
Yeah, they have lollipop man, woman, and lady here. But it's more that this is the traditional term, but they have a lot. But that might be confusing to a lot of people.
A lollipop person is somebody that during like school times when kids are coming in and out of school, they will stand by crossings and they will basically make all of the children wait on the side of the road, go out into the middle of the street, hold their lollipop sign up that tells everyone to stop for the kids crossing the road. And they'll let all the kids cross the road safely. It's
one of those words I love as well, because like, what do you call the person who holds that like big lollipop-looking stick?
Like
lollipop person. It's like in America it'd be a crossing guard.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things where like lollipop people I've never seen people with so little power who also have simultaneously the most amount of power. Because have you ever seen like a lollipop person get pissed off when someone don't pull up properly? I've seen one full on like swing at someone's car bonnet with a lollipop.
And those things are pretty hefty.
That's you might as well hand in them Gandalf's fucking staff. When you put one of those in someone's fucking hand, like the power that courses through your veins. Like Mjolnir.
I think the reasoning behind that like naming convention of lollipop person would be, I guess, like because it's specifically for young children to be able to safely cross the road.
It helps them identify.
Well, I'm thinking if you tell them, just go to the crossing guard. It's like, fucking hell. Like this 4-year-old, I'm not going to go talk to a guard, but if you're like, there's a lollipop person there, go talk to the person with the big lollipop.
Yeah, they're dressed like a fucking fluorescent knobhead. You can't miss them. I'll never forget.
Because they wear like the high-vis yellow trench coats and
it's for kids, yeah.
So it's like the kids can easily see them, that traffic can easily see them, and yeah, it's just one of those.
It's an important job.
It's an important job, get kids across the road safely.
Yeah, and the other one, speaking of which, the next word is lolly. Because that's not widely used in America.
Oh, so like a lollipop would be, you know, like I don't even know.
Chubba chup. Like the word they use over there is popsicle.
Popsicle, okay.
Yeah, so
but like popsicle is like frozen, right?
Yes.
Because like it's like icicle popsicle.
That's the thing. We use the term lolly to refer to a popsicle and the thing that you put in your mouth and suck on.
Yeah. So like lolly would the frozen type would normally be like an ice lolly or a lolly ice.
The British language is a fucking mess, isn't it?
And people argue to the fucking bone of whether it's ice lolly or lolly ice. But either one works.
They both work, yeah. And then we're going back to the toilet humor here. Loo.
It's just toilet.
Yeah, it just means toilet. It's like, we've got so many words for toilet in British. It's great. And then lorry.
It'd just be
Speaking
a
of
big truck.
lorries, to be a truck, yes, we call them lorries, which leads me to perhaps one of the simplest, but also most fiendishly difficult tongue twisters to exist in English, and it's one Americans won't be familiar with because they don't have either of these terms, and that is
Okay.
red lorry, yellow lorry. And that is a 4-word tongue twister, but you try saying that 3 times.
Wait, what do you mean 2 words?
It's red lorry, yellow lorry. 4 words. 4-word
Yeah,
tongue
but
twister.
one of them's the same word.
Red lorry, yellow. Oh yeah, true. No, red
Yeah,
lorry,
so
yellow
they-
lorry. Sorry, yeah.
They don't have the term lorry. Yeah.
Yeah, red lorry, yellow lorry. And you got to try and say it as fast
But
as you
you've
can.
got
Red
to
lorry,
kind of-
yellow lorry, red lorry. And then you end up saying like
Yeah.
lolly. Now, I was
Yeah.
completely off because I know that the tongue twister ends with you saying red lolly, yellow lolly. Because that's the easier thing to say. So that's a 3-word
Yeah.
tongue twister. I was
So
misinformed.
everyone at home, just try it yourself. Just try and say red lorry, yellow lorry, and just get progressively faster and faster and faster until you end up fucking it all.
Yeah, have you got any like tongue twisters that you know, like she sells seashells by the seashore, or like Peter Piper picked a pepper sort of thing? Or, like who?
The thing, like, I don't even know the Peter Piper pick a pepper or whatever
I
it
don't know
is.
the full one now. I do know like
Yeah.
how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. That's the only one I can
That's
do
a
properly.
that's a good one, yeah.
But that one's a lot easier because it has like the hard consonant sound as opposed to red lorry, yellow lorry, which has those soft plosive noises, which sort of tend to roll into one. Whereas like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There's a very in my head, there's that distinct stopping point with like the K, that nice hard consonant which allows you to start the next word. I'm just showing off now, aren't I?
I mean, I can't remember any of them. There used to be a few that we would use in like youth theatre and stuff to like warm up our vocals, but I can't think of any now.
Well, I bet if I have a quick look, I'm going to put in list of tongue twisters on Wiki. I bet there's a Wiki entry on this.
I'm sure there would be, yeah.
Yes, there is. There is a tongue twister entry, and it even has a bunch of examples. So maybe we can cover that at a certain point.
That's going to be a horrendous episode.
You know what? That's an episode we need to do when we had a drink.
Yeah.
And I just, for anyone curious, and for like, my own interest, we have here the Peter Piper one, which is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? And that's only because I've got it written in front of me. But I think I did okay with that one.
I think you did, yeah.
But then we have, so I think that could be a fun one.
That would be a difficult episode to make.
Let us know in the comments when you're also deciding, I know which wiki won this week, if you'd like us to do that one. But we only have 1 or 2 more left on the L of British terms not widely known or used in the United States, and it is loud hailer. And this is one of those words that's like not as common over here because now Americanisms have kind of like slipped into the English language. We most often, we
it's
largely
like a megaphone.
Yeah, it's a megaphone. We largely use the term megaphone now. So that means like the Americanism is actually seeped into the English language so much
I blame Bart Simpson.
I do, yes. That's one of those things that always cracks me up about stuff like this. Of me and you are largely aware of every Americanism. That would be the rough analogues to the things we're discussing. If you asked Americans what do British people call a toilet, well, they call it a toilet. They wouldn't know any of the slang that we know.
We consume a lot more American media than Americans do British media.
I mean, it's still quite interesting.
Generally speaking.
And then we have, finally, lurgy.
Oh,
what do you do if you've got lurgies? You got some lurgies, Lucas.
Ill.
Lucas has got lurg. Going back to tongue twisters. Oh, Lucas with the lurgies.
That just means that you're ill. Like, you've got a cold or something, right?
And alternately, it's just a thing kids do. It's like similar in America to cooties, of like, a made-up thing that, just someone you don't like has. Or like girls. Oh, girls have got lurgies. Oh, you touched like that poo on the floor. You got lurgies. Like, oh, you stepped in dog shit. You got lurgies. You got the lurgy. And there's so many. Oh, actually, can we just cover one of the M ones? Because I just saw it. Okay. And it is one of the words that I love and hate. And it is Mardy. Mardy.
I've heard the term Mardy. I can't think of what it means right now, though.
Just someone who's in a bad mood.
Right, yeah.
And it's it's kind of like you use it mostly to refer to kids, like Mardy bum. It's one of those things.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I was called this so much as a kid. I have like a vitriolic response to hearing the term because the amount of times where I'd like get really like grumpy in my parents go, "Don't be a Mardy ass," and I'd be like, "I'm not being Mardy." And then it's like, but when you do that, you were in effect, you were being Mardy.
Yeah.
But we only covered 2 letters. There's so many more, so maybe we can revisit this at a later date. Maybe like, you could cover that, like you could cover a couple of letters. Like, yeah, I had a lot of fun going through those, and there's a few that I didn't specifically single out because I wasn't aware of them, but I did think, also while scrolling past M's got some bad words. There's a lot of swearing in the M one. There's a lot of swear words in M. Actually, there's a lot of swearing in all of them. We got quite lucky where we didn't really get much swearing. We just got
I was expecting it to be like a lot more crass than it would.
Yeah, there's quite a few swearing examples in the later letters.
Another term that Americans don't know?
I'm sure Americans know. Let's have a look.
Right?
No, Americans know. It's not listed here.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a couple of naughty words listed later in this entry. So maybe one day we will return to it. But I had a lot of fun covering those. And I hope the Americans listening are like, the fuck does anything? Your language.
I had a lesson today, Carl.
It's like that. Have you ever seen the film like 51st State with like I think Samuel L. Jackson and like Robert Carlyle or something like that? I definitely know it's like Sam Jackson, and basically he meets like an English guy, and the English guy speaks a really broad accent, and he's like, I haven't understood a single word you motherfuckers have said since I arrived. You were supposed to have invented English. Why do none of you speak it? And it's one of those things that like, I always think about when people say English is just incomprehensible sometimes when you devolves into slang and like
when it gets to like thick, heavy accents, it can be tough.
Well, I guess is there any like I alluded to like Liverpudlian slang? So like scran is a one you use.
Scran is a great one.
Scran. I don't know anything like the words. What would scran be?
Like scran is just food, but more typically like if you're getting a bit of scran, you'd normally kind of associate it with something a bit like quicker and easier to digest, like scranning your food. You proper like getting in. You're just getting it in you.
Yeah, you wouldn't scran then a Sunday dinner.
Like not like you could use it. I could see it being used, but generally I associate it anyway with like just something you just getting some scran. It's a job. You've got to get it in and out.
I'm not enjoying this food. Like it is.
You're not sitting down for like a 5-course scran.
Yeah, The thing is, a 5-course scran sounds fucking incredible. that's like when you order 20 nuggets from McDonald's and you're like, it was 6 nuggets or 20 and I made my fucking choice. I'm sitting here and I'm eating all 20.
And as somebody that worked in Liverpool and worked at Nando's for many years,
the amount of scranning.
Like, I always joked that I was going to just like find a place over the road or whatever and open Scrandos. I was like,
Scrandos. And then I guess
someone open Scrandos.
Someone do it. It's a free idea. You can steal that one if you like. And then the one for me, I'm going to use a very popular and common northernism that my girlfriend still, after 3 or 4 years of knowing me, cannot use or pronounce properly. And that is Gyor. Which is contraction of give over, which itself is a northernism. And give over is simply like, give over, like just a statement of exasperation. Like someone's just like, pissing you off. It's like, give over, mate. But that has been contracted down to Gyor. But every time my girlfriend says, she always says, Gyor. It's like, you're not friends with Scooby, like, not Scooby. You're not friends with Winnie the Pooh. It's not Gyor, it's Gyor. Say it quick. But every time she says it, it's like, she stops for a split second, says do you like when, like, British people try and use, like, Spanish words? It's like, can I get some tapas?
Some chorizo.
Yeah, they're like that.
Chorizo.
But she'll just say it and then she'll go, Gyor. It's like, no, that's not, it's Gyor. It's like Gyor with this end daft lad. That's the one for me.
I've got to report to you, Carl.
Oh, no, what have you done? What have you sent?
No, I just got something to report. There are 2 places in the UK that are called Scrandos.
Of course,
someone's done it.
Like, did you see that guy who got sued? He's like some Indian dude, and he called his shop. He was called like something Sing, so he called his shop Singsbury's, and Sainsbury's sued him, so he changed it to Morris Sings. It's like, what a fucking legend that guy is. Oh, just Mr. Sings, Morris Sings, let's go. And he's got like the logo and everything. It's fantastic. But yeah, on that, I think we can call it there for today. I have greatly enjoyed learning about both Dragon Ball, Heroes,
and Scrandos.
And Scrandos. Super Scrantendo. Let's go. Get it trending. And you can tune in next week in the same like Wiki place. I'm trying to do like the same bat place, same bat week day. That remember that?
I don't think it worked.
Adam West Batman is like same bat channel, same bat time.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the thing we can cover. That's the beauty of this idea, is that we can cover anything. Anything could be the subject of next week's episode. So the only way to know what it is to tune in.
So yeah, thank you all for watching, and let us know who brought the better wiki article.
Yes. Which wiki won this week? We need to repeat it. That's good. It's a tongue twister in itself, isn't it? Which wiki won this week? Which wiki won this week? Which wiki won this week? You know what? Record yourself saying it as quickly as possible and load it as a YouTube video. Do it.
With like red lorry, yellow lorry.
Just do them all in one go. Whew. Cheers, everybody.